Don't use this as a crutch. It's gonna project the due date for the day that you become the best barber in your city if you keep doing this. If there's one thing I could change your mind on today, put the fibers to the side. Be open to some new techniques. When it comes to getting a lineup sharp without enhancements, it's done in the time before the lineup. This lineup is able to really come in its fullest potential because of the work that we did in the fade, in the guidelines, in the transitioning, in preserving this curls here, the perfect amount of curls, the perfect amount of density here. We haven't applied any enhancements, and it's already looking sharp on our first pass through. We want to keep the beard dark enough to have that perfect transition from the top of the C-cup arch into the top of the beard. I'm gonna walk you guys through my process to give them a sharp lineup, prepare the skin for the first pass through with my razor so that it's effortless.
I'ma need safety, tell her I can't snake me. Ray gun on safety, my girl so tasty. Tell her it's your world. She want the carousel, I get it lit in your area. I'm locked to the vision, it couldn't be clear. You couldn't pay me to care enough. I dare you to hate me, supreme with the sound through the stereo. So turn it up loud when you hearing us. We live and it's good in your area. My mama proud, she tearing up and it's going down. Got your girl aroused by these massive stacks like 100. Winning now. Been a while down, I'ma keep it there till we in the ground. Jet black when I paint the town, only blue sheets when they pay me now. Treat it setback like a step back. Wave, I got the game in a vice grip. Way up when the fire's clear. All the homies on the flight list.
I like this product because it's a cleanser. It is not a spritz. So if you were to apply a spritz like this, that's going to gunk up and be sticky and thick. You're gonna see it on the hairline. It's as an additive, whereas this glass is a cleanser. It's an antiseptic, skin conditioner, oil dissolver. So we're getting all the oils out and making sure it's clean before we go through with our trimmer. Spray it on with the neck strip or a piece of tissue and allow it to dry. So I like this product because even though I already did the barber saw hot towel, that helped me to separate it and clean it. But now I can use the brush and blow dry method technique. And it's gonna make this lineup so sharp in my first pass through. This is a water with the dip brush and the bowl from level 3. And what I want to do is simply apply a little bit of water into the bowl, enough that will give the enhancement powder something to grab onto. Beijing number 59. Mix this powder with the water until it's the consistency of a syrup or a ketchup. So now we have this texture here. It's gonna take about 5 minutes or so for me to help these to mix. So I'll let this sit, and from a business aspect, I never wanna apply this until his beard is perfected. As a barber, the more that you enhance your work without perfecting it, you're pushing out the deadline by the time which you will become a master, the best in your city, and be able to be a high ticket barber sustainably, where clients discover you, pay your price, see the value, and come back. If you just cover up okay work with that enhancement, you're not gonna sustain that price point once you get to it, and you might not ever even get to that price point. So what I wanna do is perfect this lineup without it, and then apply it and show you how it takes the haircut to another level, where the haircut didn't need it to be great, but it's just a great addition to the haircut. Now that the color has had a time to mix, as you can see, it looks a different color than it did a few minutes ago. I'm gonna make sure it's all mixed in consistently. And as the tip of the brush has the most on it, I'll start in the part of his beard that's the closest to the mustache. If I start up here, it does not look natural. So I want the most amount of product to be applied here and gradually decrease. I'm gonna ask them to blow an air bubble in the cheek. I'm gonna brush downward. turn it to your left. Now I'm gonna hit the back line here. And if you apply too much, it's a dead giveaway in these areas. And it's that simple. Got a Kiss Express darkest brown. As you see, what color is his hair? It's not black, it's dark brown. So if you use the wrong color enhancements, it's a dead giveaway. And the goal with enhancements is not to be obvious. We want to keep them guessing. Dark brown matches dark brown. As you see, I'll apply it. Use my enhancement card. And a secret to applying enhancements is to brush the hair up and apply it underneath the hair. Very lightly, only in the areas that are light. Right here, I brush these hairs away. You see how I pulled those hairs away to expose it? Now I'm gonna fill it. And most people would keep coloring it until it's the same density as this. I don't want to do that. I don't want to apply too much. I'm gonna start in the middle. And work my way around. My first pass through, I'm as light as I can be. Brush these hairs up, brush these hairs away. Now, instead of applying fibers to this, I'm showing you that this side looks glossy because it's exposed from the enhancements. Whereas this side, when I brush it back down, all these baby hairs over the lineup, it's not so glossy. The hair covers up the enhancement. This is with no magic pencil, just a straight up clean skin. Look at the natural ash line that we're creating. Chasing perfection, with or without enhancements. I'll go ahead and apply these lightly, just quick small pumps. I barely keep any in there on purpose because I don't want to spray too much. So I'm gonna tilt your head down to the right. Boom. But now I can go ahead and line that up. Without a doubt, one of the most popular trends in the barber industry, the magic pencil. And I'm applying it right in front of the hair. Be careful not to touch the hair. Take you to your right. So you can be the judge on the top lineup. If you think you like the magic pencil and the fibers look, I haven't even brushed it down yet, but if I were to do that, it would help it to look more natural. At the end of the day, you guys can do whatever you feel is best. I just want to show you how to do it correctly, because applying enhancements, as much as I talk down on it, it is an important skill that will take you places that not knowing how to apply enhancements can't take you. There's certain clients that need you to do this, so go ahead and use discernment. Use discernment. That would be the main thing I could say, as far as understand when the time is a time and a place when you need certain enhancements. Let me ask you a question. If you're getting your hair cut every 2 to 3 weeks for $200, do you want that barber to use enhancements? Let me ask you another question. If you're getting your hair cut every 2 to 3 weeks for $200, same experiment, would you want your barber to rely on enhancements? Hell no, right? Because that's gonna wash off. And a lot of the clients that I cut, they have problem solution based haircuts where the beard doesn't connect, where it's light on the corners. You can see this corner is pretty light. Biggest mistake I made on my journey was covering up my weak areas, my lack of skill, and I didn't want anybody to see, with enhancements, with a short-term, temporary cover-up. My last question is, where do you want to be in 2 years from now? I'd say in about 2 years' time, you could go from the price point you are now to a high-ticket barber. So you see I have the superior product. You already know what my answer is going to be. The truth is, if you're a beginner barber, you do not deserve to use enhancements. Now you might think, Joel, you're being rough on me right now, you know, why are you being so extreme? It's because I made the mistake myself. In my 5 years of cutting hair professionally in a barbershop, going from 0 clients in a new city, I really did that twice in the last 5 years, from Sacramento to LA, started over. But I've learned a lot, and there was a large amount of time, I would say 2 to 3 years of that time, I was heavily on this side. And my biggest mistake was not realizing this is truth, this is perception. This is truth, this is perception. The biggest misconception I see in the barber industry is we go on Instagram, we're scrolling, and all we see is fibers, enhancements, the Kiss Express, compressors, the magic pencil. Everybody's just enhancing the shit out of their haircuts, and it looks good in that photo. But they don't see behind the scenes what's really happening. There's a delayed gratification that happens. The client goes home the next day, they wash their hair just like I did on my beard, and now I'm back to where I was again. If you're at a high price point, I promise you it's not sustainable to follow this model. I promise you, any barber who tries to get to $200 sustainably, and you're relying on all these things, your clients are gonna go somewhere where they could pay that for $60. That's a $60 barber skill set. This is a $200 barber skill set. So I'm gonna break them down one by one. When I say perception versus reality, if you wanna do really good in business, you create a valuable product and let people run to it. You don't have to get real good at Photoshop, editing, wear fancy clothes, jewelry, stand in front of your new car and try to flex. That is what I call perception. This is what I call reality. I just focus on my craftsmanship. They're not here because I'm a therapist, because I'm a celebrity barber. They want you to solve the problem. When I go to certain barbers and I tell them, look bro, I'm light on my corners. Don't even touch them. I just want you to tap it, maybe with just the razor. Don't even cut it. And they still decide to trim it down, to line it up. And I go look in the mirror after, and my forehead is even bigger than it already needs to be. It makes me unhappy. Like, I'm never coming back to this barber again. He'll never get another of my dollars because he didn't listen to what I wanted. And the reason he didn't listen is because he didn't have a skill set. Next is noise versus perfection. Very similar. Noise is what you see on Instagram right now. In 2022, all barbers that are at this lower price point are focused on enhancing the shit out of their haircuts, getting that instant gratification that comes quick. Vision, Kiss Express, and fibers. That's what we have here. Fibers. This, I didn't want to break it, but throw that shit out. I don't even use fibers unless I just want to quickly remove the glossy effect from the Kiss Express. I really don't care about fibers anymore. Those are like entry-level barber products. This is what I would use the most if I was to encourage someone to use enhancements. It would be learning how to do Vision, Kiss Express, brush applying. I feel like this is the best way. You can just simply quickly mix it and apply it directly where you want it. And less is more with the enhancements. So the next skill set is the fundamentals of barbering. If you haven't learned this, you don't deserve to do this. Your first couple years of barbering, shampoo all your clients. That is immediate value. It might take you 5 minutes. I like going to a salon and the lady that does my braids, shampoos my hair. It's like the one time in life where I get to be pampered as a man, and there's value in that. And it doesn't take any skill. It just takes a little bit of 5 minutes of effort. Barbersaw hot towel. This does take some understanding, but it's just as simple as brushing these hairs down, applying the Barbasol, separating the length on the top, the curls, and now I can create an illusion of density that wasn't there yet because I can brush down some extra baby hairs in the corners. I, on a weekly basis, have new clients coming in here and saying, oh my God, like I don't know how you did that. That is insane. They'll stay with me for 2 more months and they'll be like, bro, I feel like I'm 20 again. Like you created an illusion of density in my hairline that I never thought I would have again. And it's because I don't cut hair like a robot. I don't do my system as fast as I can, 30-minute haircut, and then just spray on a quick Band-Aid so that when I show them the mirror, they're like, okay, yeah, it looks good. But then they're unhappy the next day and they don't ever come back. I used to wonder, quick story, I got to LA and I'm doing this the second time around, building my clientele up, and I would be doing fast haircuts. I'd have like 5 in a row on the hour or even less. And I would have about 5 minutes left and I would see there's someone waiting, and instead of doing all the detail work I need to do, razor against the grain, with the grain, really detailing the lineup, I would just be like, shoot, I don't have much time and I need him to be happy with how it looks in the mirror. Let me just grab this enhancement and spray it. And before I even asked him, I'm already spraying. Before I ask, yo man, is it cool if I use enhancements? I'm spraying already, so this is how it works. All right, I grab the enhancement, I mix the color dye. I mix the color dye into the compressor nozzle, and then I go and I'm putting the card up to his forehead, and then I'll say, hey bro, is it cool if I use enhancements? And what's he gonna do, say no? He says yes, because I was really trying to force it. I really didn't have a skill set, and so I was covering that up. For about a year I did that, and I realized, a lot of these guys don't come back. Or like when I raised my price to 100, a lot of them left me. And I had to realize like, oh shoot, it's because for what I was giving them, there's 100 other $60 barbers that could do that. But what I had to evolve into was a barber who offered this service. So I'm gonna go to instant gratification versus delayed gratification.